Hello there and welcome to another segment in preservation. Today we are going to talk about two things actually. We are going to first turn on the Commodore 64 so we're getting an idea what's going on here. Today we are going to use the RRNet MK3 along with a really powerful program called WarpCopy even. WarpCopy is a really competent program, and in a few moments, or actually now, I'm gonna show you why it's so damned good. Oh yeah. First, I assume that you have some kind of network device to your Commodore 64, else, well, there are plenty online. But in this case, I can highly recommend the RRNet MK3, as I was talking about. And I mentioned it before in another segment where we were, we were hooking up the same thing to the internet via the Contiki, I think it was. Yeah, of course it was. What else? Anyhow, so there are some other network interfaces for the Commodore 64. One is called NIC+, and we have the traditional RRNet, which are for the MMC 64 and the retro replay, etc. And there are even some more elegant solutions out there now. I've heard there's some kind of Wi-Fi network thing for the Commodore 64, but the thing is with the Wi-Fi adapter or interface that it's not RRNet compatible yet, so we just cross our fingers. Woohoo! Please make it compatible for the RRNet, and whoa, we have something huge going on. But back to this. Alright, so like I said before, and I assume that you know this is the MAC address and how to get the thing connected to the internet, or actually to your router or whatever you are using. I also just suggested to watch my previously segment. And now we are going to hold down the Commodore key to get into CodeNet. Ta-ta! We are in like Flynn. Anyhow, we are going to also at the PC side in my scenario, we are going to send the server to actually send WarpCopy to the Commodore 64 machine, because, well, we wanna have it working there. So we have one server and one client, so they can, hello there, talk to each other. And now we send the server to the Commodore 64. Of course, it didn't work because we need to do it like that. Now we can send the server. Boom! We are in. Everything is working perfectly fine here. We can see that we have the network address is perfectly fine, and of course, and the port is also good. We're in good business. So if we're starting with, I have a little bit of a floppy here, a little bit. This is the floppy I'm gonna focus on. Yeah, it's some blah blah blah, not allowed to say, but it's an S3, and I have about 400 of these. So but if we are at the PC side, so to speak, we're just gonna read the image, alright? And now we get a funky window here where we can type in our file. I'm soon going to show you more at the PC side. And I was reading, and you can see the lines on a Commodore 64 here. And that is, well, it's indicating that the whole thing is working. But we if we are turning our face, let's see if we can turn our face to the PC side. We have something else up here. Well, no kidding, did that go fast or what? It took about 22 seconds and 58 seconds. 22 seconds, god damn! Anyhow, the thing is that what you're seeing here, we can go a bit pedagogic here. Okay, alright. We're just gonna try and zoom up a little bit, or actually I'm just gonna move the window down so we can see. Of course. What we are having here, you can see the green dots here. which is indicating that everything is fine. No error whatsoever. And if we are a bit curious, as always, we can also push the directory button there. Whoa. And we are looking at the content. We can see the name of the floppy, and we can see the expert and cup final and everything like that. So it's good. It's really good. And we can also take the other side of this floppy just to see if we're getting some problems, or, well, you never know. So we're gonna read the image, and we got a little window there. Yeah, let's see now. Now, this did not look good at all. Oh no, that's not what we want at all. This is really bad floppy, I can tell you. Because if we are looking here, red, we don't like this. Oh no, sir, we don't like it at all. This is bad. This is what we want. But now, see, we're getting some blue things going on there. And that's the power of WarpCopy 64. Alright, so what's a power? It's been a lot of talking about power, it's so good. What exactly? Well, let me break it down to you a bit here, alright. So we have some other solutions to transfer files, or floppies actually, to your PC or whatever machine you want to have your files onto, the D64 format. You could go by the U2, the Ultimate cartridge, and take, you in there you set up your Ultimate cartridge to be the device 9, and you plug in your favorite drive, the 1541 for instance, and you set it up as excuse me, and you set it up for device number 8. And there is a little special program built in the cartridge that will allow you to copy your floppy from device number 8 to device number 9, which is your Ultimate 2 cartridge. So it would probably swallow most of your floppies. But in a case like this, when it's looking like some kind of some kind of floppy salad, so to speak, it doesn't give anything about these. It doesn't care about the bad sectors and tracks. All it cares about, and all you will get, is the good. Well, it will try to read these, but it doesn't say anything. It just, oh, it's a perfectly fine image. No, it's not. I say it's not a perfect image, because the errors that, in this case again, WarpCopy 64 is trying to reread until it's getting good. That won't happen in that case with the U2. No. It will claim that you have a perfect image, and you think, oh, awesome, my precious programs from when I were young, and you know, everything. Yeah, until that moment you will try and read them from your digital format into like an emulator or whatever you're using, and you're finding out that no, it's just an empty image, or the image is corrupted. Then you will cry big times if you haven't done it the proper way. Yeah, so the WarpCopy can, like it's doing now, it's reading. And when it's getting blue, it's good. It means that it's getting somewhere. But we still have some yellow blocks there that we want to get rid of, and it will eventually continue. But this was a really bad case scenario for the WarpCopy 64. So we're putting it onto the test for sure. But there is actually another solution, which is the ZoomFloppy. The ZoomFloppy has some goodies to it as well, because with that program, using the OpenCBM, you can actually do something called a nib copy of your disk or floppy. And the nib copy can be good in some scenarios when you are like doing a hard copy of your game that contains a little copy protection or anything. Then when you have like done a nib image of it, you will also get the copy protection thingy. It's like embedded, so you have like a perfect pure image of your floppy drive or floppy disk actually. But also at the same time it takes a while, and it's not really necessarily, well, unless you have done your own program and you on purpose did some kind of copy protection jazzy thing on it, then you want to have it, of course. But in general purpose it's not really needed actually. No, it's not. So in that position, or yeah, you can go by the ZoomFloppy or the WarpCopy. But the ZoomCopy also has some kind of issues with the error retrying thing. But there are some programs, some third-party programs written that can take care of that. So yeah, you're not like totally locked to the WarpCopy, so to speak. But it also is something else with the WarpCopy that differs from other things. Yeah, so we are back. Took a little break there. Anyhow, so what we were talking about was that to use WarpCopy you need a Commodore 64 actually. And well, that can be, well, if you're on like a small desktop, you maybe don't have that space. But still, I think that, well, just to stack up the Commodore 64 on top of your floppy drive and get the network connected, I think it's still good. But if you're in like a small desktop area, you perhaps would like to go with the ZoomFloppy, and there are even some other alternatives to the ZoomFloppy, something called the XOMFloppy or XOM 1541, which is a much smaller unit. Yeah, but as we can see here that this one has been going quite for a while, but we can see that all these blocks that were like yellow and red, they are turning blue now. And we have even seen here some green areas, or not areas, but some green dots, which are a good sign that this floppy image will be a very good one. So I'm gonna let it continue, so to speak. So I'll see you in a little while. So there we go. We can see that there is slightly a difference between the different takes I have made here. We can see that these red are no good. We don't like them. But I think sadly this is how far we can go with one read of this floppy. Sadly. Oops, something happened there. What? This was weird. Now, alright. I'm not quite sure what happened there, to be quite honest. But, yeah. Alright, I have never kind of experienced that before, that it has been, yeah, alright. So perhaps it was done with some sectors or tracks and it just wanted to, like, hey, I wanna redo this, or I don't know. I haven't written the program, so I'm not 100% sure about what's going on, but it has never done that before. Anyhow, I think that we're gonna let this one go on, so to speak, and I will see you soon. Alright, so it has stopped, and if we are looking at the time spent reading this floppy, let me just try and zoom in there. Oh wow. Oh wow, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it says 41 minutes. That's quite something, I can tell you. I haven't really experienced anything like this. Yeah. But there is a little trick into this, that you can actually reread this file, or actually the floppy, like how many times you want. And there's a neat program out there written by Sailor of Triad, and that program can put together those different images and try to make one complete of them. So we are going to try to do that, of course. But the thing is that before we are going that road, so to speak, I mean, now the image is saved, of course, but I want to know what's on this. And I can hear that the drive is making some funny noises, trying to read like the index, what's on the disk, actually, what's on the floppy. It's making some really weird noises. And now it just stopped. This is a bit weird. I mean, I wanna see what's on there. Yeah, alright. So we can see that we have Saxon there, we have Night Mission, Triad, and some other games here. And well, I really want to get this out, you know. So I'm gonna, well, do it again, so to speak. Just make a few copies of this image, and then I'm gonna try and merge them together with that Supreme tool. Because yeah, this you can see WarpCopy as a bit of a bento box, actually, or well, yeah, or actually the other tool. And the disk joiner is the bento box, and this is kind of one single meal that you get, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you want to have like a complete bento box, then you want to put all the images into it. Yeah. But I'm gonna see if we can make something out of this. But that's for my personal use, actually, because I'm actually doing this live as we are recording, or I am recording actually. But as you can see, this is a very good tool, and I think that you now should have understood the power of WarpCopy. Oh, by the very way, you know that I'm not the guy who gives up, you know. I never give up. If we are looking at another feature that I almost totally forgot, if we're turning off the FastIEC, it will read slower. And keep in mind, this is the same disk that I'm fighting to get. And as we can see here now, everything turns out green, which means we have a perfect image there. And the first image that I read was not green here, it was full of red things, bad sectors and bad tracks. But by reading it this way, it will read slower, of course, but it's also doing it more notorious. I think it's doing, well, perhaps a bit carefully. But this is funny that it left one out, but it's okay, it will probably getting back there. So yeah, it was just a little thing that I didn't think about at the first time, but now I just remember that the FastIEC can also be turned off, which, well, sometimes, you know, fast isn't the best way to go. Yeah, right. So we'll see what's happening. Now, would you look at that? Isn't it quite we only have a few tiny yellow stripes in here, which we are going to do a second reading on, of course, but we can see that it took quite some time, but it's really worth it, I can tell you. So, as you have understood, this is a bit of an extension as well for the WarpCopy 64, to see what it really is capable of doing. So I will see you guys in another one. So stay tuned, leave comments, and yeah, bye.